I'll just hit record. All right. Here we go. We can get started. Hi, fellow KEWP colleagues. Life is good with lead generation. It's lunchtime, so I hope you were able to grab something to eat, or of course your favorite smoothie. And the point of this is meant to be short snippets of valuable information. So we'd like to keep this to a half an hour, okay? Today is part 2 of Facebook, because there's a lot to cover in Facebook as an opportunity or a channel by which to gather leads. And we have a very special guest today, and that's Commander or Colonel of Command, Chris Norton. Thanks for joining us, Chris. So I just want to take a moment to just recap what we talked about last week. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to go back to Facebook. And so let's just cover some key points about what we discussed. So we talked about the banner here. My recommendation is that you change this at least twice a month. When you make change to this, it shows up on your friends, family, connections feed. I also recommended that for your profile page, you somehow identify that you're a real estate agent, because when you like or comment, people, that little circle shows up and you remind people that you're a real estate agent. So it's important to do that. We also talked about key information here, your email, your website page, areas that you serve. We also talked about what kind of content you're posting on your Facebook page. So you want to be considered a subject matter expert. You want to put everything in there that reminds people that you're a subject matter expert, from tips and techniques to staging, to decor ideas, to winterizing your property. You want to be able to post information about how the market is doing, as well as posting your listings, your open houses, the properties that you've sold. But you want to make sure that you're connecting with your audience, not just I sold this, I sold this, I sold this, I sold this. This is an engagement. It's part of a tool that creates a relationship, and this is how we are nurturing lead generation. We also talked about your how to. I asked you to make sure you had a business page, but you also want to make sure that you've connected with friends, family, people from high school, grade school, college, if you went to an MBA school, etc. Any of your activities that you're involved with, your community. And anybody who wanted, I have a memory tickler list from Bold. It's 150 tips and techniques for jogging your memory of people that you might know. If you want a copy of that, please send me your email address. So with that, we're going to go ahead and begin with part 2 of lead generation through Facebook. And this was about posting paid ads. So the prerequisite of today is that you already have your command tool set up. I'm going to go to command. You want to make sure that you're at least connected to your command tool. Okay. And now we're going to do a campaign. So I'm going to walk you through a campaign that I had running for an open house that I did for a listing. So on the far left side here, there's an icon, says, if you hover over, it says campaigns. I go into campaigns, and this was a Facebook paid ad for a listing, an open house listing. Okay. So I'm going to go to my paid ads, and I'm going to open up this one. Now, this was a completed campaign because it had a time frame of an open house time frame. But let's just walk through this so I can show you. This was posted to both Facebook and to Instagram because they're both connected. And if you haven't, and if you don't have this set up yet in commands, you know where you can go. The Colonel is on the phone for connecting people with Facebook paid ads and getting you set up. Okay. So I went in, and I'm just going to show you really quickly how I created the campaign. Over here on the right-hand side, there's an icon. I came over to the middle to the pop-up. I clicked on social ads. So now I have a selection here. What is my marketing goal? What's my marketing goal here? So if I have an open house, and there's a couple of tips and techniques to this, and we can get into this deeper later, but for my agenda, I wanted to attract listings. So I clicked on this. and I'm running it on Facebook. It's already connected to Instagram. Create the campaign. And I'm going to put 210 Pittstown Road. So I know that's the command, or that's the name of the campaign. And this will be a second campaign for this address. So I click on create campaign. It's processing all the required stuff. So here's the main copy. What do I want to tell people about the property? Here's a main headline. It's an open house. It's a coming soon. It's a just listed. You've got to create the excitement around all of this. Then I have the description. So I can add the listing here. This will make it a lot easier. I'm going to do this 210 Pittstown Road. Now, for those of you who don't have a listing, you can use my listing. You can use any of my listings. You can use Chris Norton's listings. Chris also has other campaigns that are not listings, that are advertisements that actually grab attention and actually create leads for you. So I select my listing, or the listing that I want to put up there. Okay. And I'll put in just listed. Woohoo, this is just listed. This property won't last. The one selling point, this is where I kind of try and highlight a key point about a property. This property has 50 plus acres of glorious views. Oops, got a spell there. So this is just going to be a sample. And then I'm going to, once I'm done with this description, and you have 250 characters here to grab attention and delve deeper into the, the benefits and the, unique aspects of a property, or whatever it is, the content, and I hit save. What media am I doing? Oh, we're going to do the link, and then we are going to my automatic Keller Williams logo will upload. Don't have to worry about that. If you want to add video, you can click on video and add that instead. And we hit save. Now I have to configure the Facebook page. So Chris helps you walk through setting up your account. You have your credit card ready, all that kind of stuff. So this is the page that my account is listed under, because it's my personal page, but I want everything on my business page. So it's Lori O'Neill Real Estate is this one. And I want it in the feed for the Instagram. And as Chris always says, on that far left-hand side, Facebook lead generation form. It's even in parentheses that it's recommended. Click it. Learn more, or sign up, or apply, depending on the content. I'm just listing a property. It's learn more about that property. What's the website URL? Well, I have to also choose a landing page. Now I have some of these, and Chris can walk you through. Agent home site page, it'll auto-populate that for you. But these landing pages are created in
Laura,
command.
I want to make a suggestion
Please.
there.
Yep.
So what you're doing when you're setting up the choose landing page or adding the website URL, what's basically happening here is a micro transaction. They are giving you their information. In return, they expect to get something from you, which is more pictures of the house they just clicked on. I wouldn't send them to your homepage, because they're not going to know the address of this property to go look it up. I would actually go a step further. I would go to your branded KW website and pull up that particular listing there, and then paste that address in the website URL.
Great.
That way you're giving them exactly what they want.
Perfect. Perfect. Do you want to walk us through that, Chris? You want to walk me through that?
Yeah, actually go to another tab, go grab the address, go to your KW branded site, the LoriO'Neill.kw.com or whatever it is. Go there.
To this, okay. On a different URL, right?
On a different tab. What I did with mine is I just have my custom URL redirect to it because it was too much work to get my domain name provider working correctly.
Yeah, but I built a custom website, so that's what this isn't pulling up for me. So I need to get my KW one.
Well, you can do it from that too. I mean, ultimately, what you want to do is send them somewhere where they get what they want.
Right.
Okay, which is more pictures of this property.
Yes.
That's still branded to you. So you could give them the link to, something on Zillow, right? You could do it, but the minute you do that and they actually want more information, they're not going to send it to you. They're going to send it to one of their premier agents, right? So the whole trick is to send them to a destination URL that has you branded all over it. It's sticky, but it also provides what they want. So if you want to use your custom website, that's cool. Just make sure you're sending them the property address from that custom website. Doesn't have to be the KW one. Hit the details button. There's something going on.
There's something for some reason. All right, we'll fix that one in the background. But
in any case,
what, guys, I'm going to ask you to go back to Chris and get that fixed because he's just given us a really valuable tip here in creating this campaign. So we'll just take a note on that about putting a URL there that's branded to you and you're giving them something about it, Chris. Thank you. I don't want to waste the time. Okay.
No, it's no problem, but that keeps them coming back.
Excellent point. Okay. I'm just going to move on here to the audience. So you can use a custom audience or you don't have to. So what I do is I use a custom audience, and what I do here is it's all about the interest in keywords where people will be searching. So some of the really big hitters are realtor.com, not Realtor Pro, because those are agents. So I click on this, and I also click on add additional interest, and I make sure that I add Zillow here. Chris, any others that you like to add?
Yeah, so what I've started doing, in fact, you know what, I won't take up your time. I'm going to go through one of my ads. It's a little different than this, but this one I would absolutely be running luxury. If you type in luxury, you're going to get luxury cars, luxury properties as choices. I would put both of those in there because of what it is, right? I wouldn't put first-time home buyer, but first-time home buyer you'll find as a choice as well. So I'd select both of those. I would put luxury vehicle in there also, because the shopper for a luxury vehicle is also likely to be interested in this house.
Anyone, any questions so far? Okay. All right, so I hit save. Oh, a radius. So I know that since this property is in Pittstown, New Jersey, I want to expand the radius because I want to make sure that we cover New York. I know New York is coming out into the area. So I'll do a 40-mile radius. I also know that North Jersey is coming down into the area. So I want to make sure that I've grabbed the attention of anybody living in those particular areas. And I hit save.
There's another way to do that too. When you put that 40-mile radius, you get less density in any given area of your ad presentation. So if you're targeting New York, for example, and North Jersey, what I would do is it's right now centered on Pittstown. See where it says Pittstown, New Jersey? There's a little X box there. I would type Staten Island, because if you do a 25-mile radius of, say, Staten Island, for example, you're going to get the 5 boroughs, you're going to get North Jersey, you're going to get part of Long Island, right? So yes. You're not casting as wide a net when you do that. You're going to hit fewer areas, but it's going to tighten up where you're actually doing your advertising from, and you'll get better results that way on a per lead basis in terms of cost measures.
Perfect. Another great tip, guys. Hope you're taking notes. All right, we save. Configure the settings. I'm just going to skip this for now. I'll leave this to Chris when it comes to auto tagging and smart plans. And then we go to budget. And I want to run the ad for a start date and a finish date. That gives you the total amount of days. Here is the total dollars expected to spend on this. You hit save. And then you just, there's also an opportunity for automatic placements. I don't know if you ever really use this, Chris. That'd be great to know if you comment on this, the automatic placements.
Yeah, that's only going to come up when you start using Facebook and Instagram. To be honest with you, I don't spend a penny on Instagram anymore. I've gotten just the results aren't there in terms of my expense. So I don't run Instagram ads anymore. That's all, again, it's only going to pop up if you have multi-channel ads that you're running.
Okay. And then you would hit save. Because this is a real estate ad, it'll go through sort of a vetting out of in the back end at Facebook. You would hit save and then you would hit publish. Hit publish. Facebook will vet it out to make sure that you are within the guidelines of fair housing or other rules and regulations, etc. You do receive an email that says that they're reviewing your ad, and then you'll receive an email that says, yes, go ahead, it's been published. So as a result of that, when I go into command, I'm just going to hit save draft for that now. And then when I go into commands and I go to leads, my leads that are automatically fed into my command tool, into my database, will say Facebook leads. You'll also get a notification up here with the bell. Up in this upper right-hand corner, this is your message. It's ding, 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 you have a message. So I always check here for leads. So you can see here, lead, the L came in. These L's mean that they're coming in from paid ads. And so now I have a reason to actually speak to these people. Hey, you called about the property, or I see that you're interested. Just wanted to let you know there's an open house. I noticed that you might be wanting to list your property. Depending on what the content of the ad is, it gives you purpose for actually calling and connecting with people. So it's calling them, texting them, emailing them, valuable information based on and aligned with that ad. So for the open house, I've called, texted, and emailed everybody that expressed an interest in the property when I listed the ad for open house. Hey, I hope to see you. This property offers 50 acres of magnificent views. It's agricultural preserve. Please bring your horses if you have them. Your kids can run around. It's just whatever you need to call with purpose, text with purpose, email with purpose. So this is another avenue of lead generation with Facebook. Stop. I'll pause for questions. Oh, we have a chat. Anybody reading the chats? Memory jogger. I will send that to you. Thank you for that. It's Kavitha. I don't want to screw up that name. Sorry.
Yes, that's
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
And we spoke, didn't we, about the property?
Yes.
About 210. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Questions or comments, anyone? Is this valuable? Any kind of feedback for this? Oops, I need to do that. Feedback. If you're not connected to command and you don't have this set up so that it's click, 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 and you populate things and we're doing the tips and tricks that Chris is recommending, by all means, please sit in on the command classes, ask those questions. How do I get this? How do I get my credit card set up so I can do some paid ads? And you're not, the thing is that $30 in these paid ads, that's all it's costing. So do a couple of them just to get yourself started. It's a start. It's a start to build your database. It's a start down the path of, growing that database, because the money is in that database. Chris, anything you'd like to add? Great tips today.
Yeah, can I have screen control? I want to show you guys something.
Perfect.
And I like to call my database actually my data bank, because that's how I think of it. It is a bank. It is my money, and it's really really something to focus in on conceptually. Right? Hold on, I'm going to just hide this because the controls are in the way. So as you look at my dashboard, and I've got some stuff going on here that Lori doesn't have on hers. One of which is pretty important. It's the goals function takes some time to put your goals in here, because it'll really help keep you on track as time goes on, as to your lead generation, your appointment setting, and so on and so forth. It's a very valuable tool. Now, in terms of what you can do with campaigns, I use the campaigns function as one of my lead generation components. It's not the only one. Okay. I do pick up the phone and call people. I do send out mailers. I check in with my sphere. I have a couple other lead sources that I work on. But in terms of return on investment for my time and my money, campaigns wins hands down. And that's because it's cheap and it's automated. Okay. Now, what I've got going on here is, on my dashboard, I've got two ads that are running right now that have recently run, in this case, that I have two different looks on. Okay. And it's important to kind of walk through the difference between them. And again, same statement. If you ever seen a listing of mine, you don't have to ask, just run your ad based on it. I literally, it's not even that I don't care. I encourage you to do it. As far as what you can do, though, I'll show you real quick two different looks. Okay, one is a traditional buyer lead ad for a listing. This one happens to be one in Trenton. That's it's an investor special. It's in a fairly rough area, but there's a buyer for everything, right? This is my ad: 3-bedroom, 1-bath, semi-attached. Dun dun dun. The key things. It says right up front, sold as is, elbow grease needed. You got to get the certifications, right? It's literally, here it is. Now, Lori had mentioned you can put a video in here. You can do a couple of different photographs on a given campaign. I'm going to give you a pro tip here. Use one photo, use the best one you have. What happens when you give a carousel or a video is a lot of people make their decision on whether or not they want to give you any information, to find out more information, because they saw everything they needed to see. I don't want them to make that decision. I want them to hit this learn more button and then end up giving me their information. So pro tip number one, use one photo, use the best one you got, stay away from doing video, at least for this type of advertisement. Okay. Now, in terms of what that looks like for you, this campaign has run its course. It ran for 10 days. Okay. Over those 10 days, I acquired 14 leads. Those leads cost me $1.25 each. Okay. Each one of them is automatically, I'll pop this up so you guys can see it. Lori didn't do this in hers, but I have my campaign set up to automatically tag and then automatically add every new lead to a smart plan. Benefit of this is 2 a.m. Guess what? When Bettina came in at 2 a.m., actually, hold on, there's going to be 12:13 a.m. Joanne Fisher. I was asleep. Okay. When she came in and clicked on my ad, but you know what? She got a text right away. She got an email automatically. She starts getting these things right off the bat. There's no real lag to speak of. So it makes me more efficient. Most of the time, they don't even know that it's not a real person on the other end. All right. That's an important tip. Auto tag, auto add to smart plans. Smart plans are your friend. That is your technological advantage that other people don't have. It's literally drip campaigns. Right? But it keeps things happening. I've got 7,500 people in my data bank. Most of those 7,500 people are hearing from me at least once a month. And I don't pick up the phone to call them, but they keep seeing Chris Norton's name and face and my brand over and over and over again. They're going to keep getting that until they buy or I die, one or the other, right? It's just going to keep on happening. So use the technology that's out there to your advantage. Now, this one, I got 14 leads for $1.25 a piece. Okay. And yeah, most of them won't do anything now. One of them will eventually, right? It's just going to take some time. I got to keep following up on it. And I've talked to some of these people already, right? Some of them are legit buyers. Most people are not. Most people aren't ready yet. That's why I say, use this as one of your business building avenues. Okay. The other thing that I'm doing right now, which isn't performing as well in terms of a per lead basis, is, and this is an interesting comparison. This is the same ad, this one here and this one here. Okay, both of them are click here for a list of home ads. That's all they are. Okay, And rather than it being a listing, I've got a graphic that is somewhat representative of a home in Princeton. I actually pulled this out of the Command clip art gallery, right? It's not even a real Princeton home. I don't know where it is, but it looks like it could be Princeton, right? So I'm running this in two areas. I'm running it centered on Princeton, and I ran this one centered in New York, actually running on Staten Island, like I just showed you. I got far better results running it in New York than I am running it in Princeton. Mainly because, well, if you already live around here and you wanted to live in Princeton, well, you're probably already there, right? So, I'm doing a little
That's a
A/B
great tip,
test.
Chris.
Right,
That's
I'm
a
doing a
good
little
tip.
A/B testing on this, right? But I have a feeling if I did it for West Windsor, it'd be a different story because there's a lot of people that want to buy in West Windsor that are currently renting. So I have to kind of flip this a little bit and try it elsewhere. But literally, it's a description of Princeton, right? And the New Yorkers are responding well to this. So this particular ad, the way I had it set up, I got much more targeted than I would typically do. So this one for Tioga is pretty generic. It's, anybody that's maybe looking at houses online, right? Whereas this Princeton one, which by the way, I got 8 leads for $4 a piece. Well, hey, if it cost me $4 to get a lead and they buy something next year and it's a $1.2 million home, I don't mind having spent $3.75 to acquire them as a lead. That's good math, right? That math works for me. It's a lot better than paying a 25 or 30% referral. It's a lot better than paying $10,000 a month to Zillow. It's $3.75. I can do that math, and that math says, hey, that's good for me. But as far as how the ad is built itself, I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like. In fact, I might even just run this one again because it was performing well for me. The key difference between a listing ad and this one is that, I apologize, I'm working from my smartphone, so everything's running a little slower than it normally would be. When I did my targeting, I put some narrowing effects on here, okay? And what narrowing does is it says, okay, here's, look for anybody on the interwebs, right? Because it will run ads on, like banner pages on websites. It actually does that. But it'll look for anybody that matched any of these criteria. Okay, so finance, luxury, house, mortgage loans, like any of those, anybody that hit any of those, but further restrict that big list, narrow the funnel down to people that have got some sort of indicator that they visited Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, or Homes, right? And then narrow it down again to only people that are exhibiting house hunting behaviors. So whereas typically with the Trenton listing I showed you, I would just put all those criteria up here. It's a real wide net, right? It's just get me everybody that might be looking. My intent here is to get somebody that's much more ready to actually do something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Chris, I just want to elaborate on that from a marketing perspective is that this, to be able to narrow down that house hunting, you are now having a more focused and valid conversation with your leads about house hunting, and
Right.
you have more serious buyers in front of you. So it's sort of weeded that out for people, as opposed to, oh, I'm just going to click on this, and I was on mortgage loans, but I'm just web surfing.
Right. So put another
So it's
way.
helping you with qualifying your leads.
Exactly. Put
Yeah.
another way. These guys here, if you put out all those criteria up in this very first box, include people who match, you're going to get a ton of tire kickers. And there's nothing wrong with tire kickers. They might be 3 years out from doing something, and that's cool. I don't care because I'm going to keep dripping them for 3 years, right? And when they're ready, they're going to think my name because they heard from me 2,000 times, right? So there's absolutely a place for that. But my objective with this particular campaign is to get people that are really kind of in the right now window. Okay. And, I'm getting fewer of those because I'm weeding out the tire kickers. But my belief is that some of these guys are going to be much more ready to actually pull the trigger on a transaction. So that's the intent here. Okay. And there's a place for both. There absolutely are. And to be fair, I ran campaigns. I run them in the summer for people looking for beach houses, right? I run them down and I run them on inexpensive beach houses in Cape May County because I spent a lot of time down there in the summer, and I run that ad in Philly because I know all the buyers come from Philly, and I get leads for like a quarter. But it's, it's the wide net. It's the, I don't really care. It might take them 5-10 years to pull the trigger. It doesn't matter to me, right? So there's different objectives you can do, and there's different approaches. You can really do, I'm actually gonna run this one while we're here. Hold on, let's make sure. Yeah, I got my lead settings set up, and you can see how I tag them Facebook ad and Princeton, and then I have them running on this lead. I'm going to go publish it. And Lori had mentioned there's going to be a review process. You'll get to see what the review process looks like, right? It's going to go through, and they'll give you a little alert that says it's under review, and then it's going to start running. So it's kind of basic and simple, but that's what it does. And this is what your indicator looks like when it's pending review, right? And it'll probably be done in like 4 hours. They say a day, but it'll probably be done in like 4 hours. And then what'll happen is I'll start getting notifications up in here that I got stuff, yada, yada, yada. Now, actually, I'm glad this is here. Jordan Counts has accepted your referral. Cool thing about running ads like this one I'm doing for Princeton, okay? Or any internet ad for that matter. You're going to get people that are going to say, oh, I'm not really looking in Princeton. I'm looking in Cherry Hill, or I'm looking in Morristown, right? Or Montclair, or whatever, okay? Pittstown, I'm looking in Pittstown, right? So you're going to run into people like that are going to be looking in an area you don't service. Just refer it out, right? Just refer it out. In fact, Jordan, who accepted that referral, happens to be in my downline. So I charged him a lower referral because guess what? That keeps him in business longer. He makes more money. I make profit share off of it. It's totally a win-win. So you can nest all this stuff together strategically and really do some neat stuff with it.
Thanks, Chris. Wow, that was just, you've gone above and beyond. Thank you so much.
All right, I'll stop for questions. So
it's a lot, so that's why you have to go to Chris's classes.
Well, it's a lot of great
Hey, Chris.
stuff.
Hi, this is Mamta. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Okay. So, Krish, do you have any experience on I have already my database, and instead of sending emails and text messages, I want to advertise on targeted advertisement on Facebook. Think about it, maybe it's a geo farming. So the contacts are from certain areas, and I want to target with because I want to generate seller leads. So something related to that geographical location.
Yeah, there is a function.
How to upload, because Facebook business account. So my question is that possibility is, can I do in the command? Can I use command as a business account and upload my contacts and advertise?
Well, I believe what you're asking is this. Can you use the command interface to set up a specific list of social media targets to see your ads? And the answer is you can. Right. I will tell you, it doesn't work very well. They just haven't put much development into that. Is number one. Number two, from an ROI standpoint, I don't even know that I would recommend spending the money to do that. And the reason for that is there's so much stuff that occurs that's presented in everybody's feeds every day that the last number I heard is something pathetic, like 17% of all content is actually seen. Like there's so much content that people don't see most of it. So if you decide I'm going to spend money targeting this list of 100 people by social media, they're only 17 of those people are likely to even see your ad, right? Let alone click on it. And if you've got the information required to target them through social media, which would be name, email, phone number, why are you targeting them?
No,
Right.
I have those.
You're not going to get anything
information.
more from them at that point.
That's a good point.
No,
Right.
Chris, I have those information.
Right. But that's
I
my
don't
point.
provide-
If they're in your database or data bank, if you already
Right.
have them in your database,
Yes.
what are you expecting to get out of exposing just those people to an ad?
Keep showing that my niche is that geolocation. So anything related to that community, suppose there is 1,000 home in that community and anything I'm posting. So that connection I want to establish. It's a long-term relationship. It's
I understand what you're
kind of,
saying.
say that-
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. What I'm telling you is it's not an effective use of your money to do. At best, 17 out of 100 people will even see that piece of content. And then out of those 17 people, it's going to be a conversion rate of like 1% if you're if you're lucky. So 1 out of 100 might actually see this ad you just spent money to expose to this defined list, right? If you're looking to target repeatedly those people, right, and you know all this information about them, I'd email them, I'd call them, and if you got a physical address, I'd send them a mailer. Like in terms of effective use of your money and time. Does that make sense? I mean, I know it's not the answer you want to hear, but that's the reality. It doesn't work
Right.
well for what you're looking to do.
Okay.
But yes, you can do it. I can even show you how to do it. I've tried it. It
Yeah, that I want
doesn't
to
work.
learn,
It's a waste of money.
definitely.
There's enough stuff for us to waste our money on in this business. I can't encourage that one.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you. That was good.
Hey, after we're done, before I forget, because I know we ran over, Tawana, if you can stay a little while, I need to see something from you after we're done with this whole thing.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to just go ahead and wrap it up if we don't have any other questions.
Oh, wait, I want to show you something. Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, because it's right here. So remember how
Perfect.
I said I don't do, I don't do ads for Instagram too often. This is the last one I ran on both channels, right? And I got 21 leads, but just to kind of drive the point home, you'll see here what that looks like. None of these, Facebook, none of these came from Instagram, not a single one. So the money I spent on Instagram, total waste, I would have been better off taking all that money. I probably would have had 40 leads from that particular ad. So just to kind of drive that one home.
Thanks, Chris. That's a good point.
Yeah. One question, Chris, the last, your active one is the Princeton one. It's not your listing. Is that correct?
The Princeton one I'm running right now isn't even a listing.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, it's not
It's
even a
generic.
listing. It's actually, here, I'll show you what it is. When you click on it, you get sent to a search I ran on my branded website. Here you go, Princeton listings. All right, and I'll copy that. I'll throw it up in the top here. So when you click on that link, it's giving you this, okay? Whoops, why didn't it go? It's literally going to give you this. Okay, it's going to run a search on Princeton Township. It's going to show you everything for sale in Princeton. Okay. Now, remember how I said to Lori at the beginning, I'm like, listen, if you're going to send them somewhere, send them something that's branded to you. So this is my custom URL, right? And this happened, I'm logged in right now. So let's say I click on Katie's Pond Road here, right? And I'm like, ooh, I like this one, right? They can actually ask me a question directly. They can save it as their list of favorites. They can schedule a tour. They can get, information about a pre-approval from Keller Mortgage. It's all branded to me. Okay.
Okay.
This is really like, if you're going to send them somewhere sticky. And, if you sent them, for example, to a MLS link, which you can do, right? It's just going to be that property. And if you look on those links you send them from the MLS, you can't search for anything else. It's like, here's the 10 things I just sent you, and that's it. Guess what? If they don't like this one, they can go search for something else. Right. So again, keep them in your ecosystem. Don't let them get away.
Okay. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, I know I'm sorry we've run a little over, but there was just so much information related to Facebook paid ads. And thank you so much, Chris, for joining. Really just was invaluable. And it's just another, please, Chris takes the time to dig into the details, does one-on-ones, when it's a small group of attendants, he's able to help everybody and coach everybody. So don't miss the opportunity to explore all the things that are available to you in Command. And I'm going to see you on those calls because I need to get a refresher. So thanks everyone. We'll just wrap it up. And again, email any one of us if you need anything.